Hello and welcome to today's camper van chat. And as you can see, I'm not in my motorhome, I am in a hotel today. Why am I in a hotel and not in a van? Well, first of all, I hope you'll keep this to yourself, so I don't want to sound like a weirdo for being in a hotel and not in a van. The reason I did this was I had to come here. I'm in Stuttgart, and it was cheaper and easier rather than a 2,500 kilometre round trip to actually fly here and stay in a hotel. So that's why I am in a hotel. Now, today, Hymer has released a new vehicle. Sorry, let's not look at me, let's look at the vehicle instead. That's possibly more interesting for you. And this vehicle, it's the B-Class, it's the MasterLine, and it comes in two forms. It's the 780 and the 790. One has single joinable beds at the back, and the other one's got a queen bed. Now, the vehicle itself is a combination of the Mercedes-Benz Sprinter base with Hymer's SLC chassis, which has allowed state-of-the-art design. It's a 235 centimetre wide vehicle. It's got internal headroom of 198 centimetres. Now, let's have a look at it. And the first thing I think that stands out is the large panoramic windscreen, which merges directly into the slightly curved side walls without visible A-pillars, thus enabling a particularly wide field of view. Now, you know this when you're driving the van and you can you come to us, for example, a 45 degree angle. It's just maybe joining a roundabout or something like that. It's often you can't really see very well, and I think that this will improve the vision, I think, to a certain extent. And maybe it's not, there's still a blind spot, but I think it's actually a great improvement on what many of us actually have. Now, it's got an extra wide entrance door which has been redesigned and it's integrated into the living area, and it has an option on the door of integrated lighting, closing aid and key-free access by means of an RFID chip. So instead of locking the door with a key, you touch the door with this chip and it locks. And you know it's locked because it makes a funny noise. Now, the space is something which obviously this SLC chassis really can offer. Storage, because it moves all the stuff, all the technical stuff is moved into the chassis, and at the same time is offering much greater payload. And in the garage, for example, you can get 350 kilos, but you can even get this extension to this chassis, and that would put your payload up to 450 kilos. And it's a huge garage, as you can see. Now, the Mercedes-Benz Sprinter engine offers power, agility, comfort, and additionally now you can get the new 177 horsepower diesel engine, which is available exclusively for motorhomes. It's an option which obviously is going to cost more money on this van, but you can have it should you want it. Another option you can have, if you don't want a 6-speed manual gearbox, you can have a 9-speed automatic transmission. Both Hymer and Mercedes claim that this offers low engine noise, smoothness and optimised fuel consumption. As I haven't driven it myself, I can't tell you yet what the net fuel consumption will be, but I can say on the Sprinter that I'm driving around at the moment, it's not particularly high. Not particularly high, it's about 7 litres or something like 200 kilometres. I'm not supposed to get that from this, but I suspect it'll be well under 10. I suspect. Well, it depends how you drive, of course. Other features are they've got assistance systems. It's got the crosswind assist, it's got brake assist, and it's got the Distronic Active Distance Assistant. Now, the exterior of the vehicle was developed by Hymer, obviously, but in collaboration with Studio Sin. Now, Studio Sin have done work on Niesman Bischoff, and obviously Niesman Bischoff's part of the same group anyway, and the Hymer group. Now, to a certain extent, the redesigned front section as far as the front axle lends the motorhome a dynamic appearance. The visible edges pick up the lines of the headlights and carry them into the extended side contour. The slightly blunt-shaped front section integrates the narrower wheelbase. Now, one of the problems with the Sprinter is that it's got the wheelbase is much narrower than, for example, you get on a Ducato or indeed on other vehicles, and often it seems as though the wheels are very much indented, and they have attempted with this van to actually make it appear as though the wheels aren't so indented. Another thing that gives it a bit more sporty look is the black grille and glossy radiator frame with chrome trim as well as LED fog lights. At the rear it's made out of GRP, and it's got integrated rear light moulding and a self-supporting garage casing, and looks, again, I think relatively attractive. Internally, it's using bright grand oak furniture finish, which has been combined with elements in modern super matte white, while the darker velvet ash adds exclusive colour accents. The new combinations and accents create harmonious and homely colour schemes, which at the same time look elegant and clean, and they're repeated throughout the living area, the bathroom, and even the kitchen. Now, Hymer say they got their ideas from the hotel and restaurant, new ideas in restaurants, and they've now tried to bring these into the home, that is to say, the motorhome. Now, there's a quilted wool fabric which provides cosy details in the wardrobe and wall coverings, and for further visual enhancement of the cab, all areas are covered with fabric laminated moulded parts, which creates a certain symbiosis of living space in between the lounge and the cockpit. Now, it's very difficult, of course, to make the cockpit look as though it's part of a living area, because let's face it, most people at home, assuming they don't live in a motorhome, don't have a steering wheel in the lounge. Now, there's a large seating area, and the headrests can be stowed to save space. Now, another option is the surface worktop. It gives and the worktop itself has a largish amount of space for doing whatever you're doing there, your preparation. It's got an under-counter larder unit, and it's got something very curious, and this comes from Dometic. It's got a double hinged refrigerator which can be opened in both directions. Now, this is like many vans. It's got of this size. It's got a separate living area and sleeping areas. You've got this door which you can close, so you can have people continue to party in one room or whatever, and whilst sleeping at the back. Now, as I mentioned, you've got single beds, or you've got the queen bed. Now, the single beds are up to 207 centimetres long. 207, that's 6 feet 11 inches, yes, and in quite an amazing size there, and they're almost 90 centimetres wide. The queen bed's 200 centimetres by 156 centimetres. It's height adjustable electronically, and so that obviously if it's further up it is, the more room you can have in the garage. Another interesting feature is that when you join the two single beds, is that there's some pull-out steps, so you don't have to use a ladder. I personally don't like these ladders at all, but and I think as people tend to be slightly older than me who actually buy these things, then it's particularly good that you don't have to, when you're getting on a bit, you don't really want to be climbing up ladders, I think, so it's easier to get down some steps in the middle of the night should you need to nip into the toilet. Oh, and a good point as well is that when the steps are out, it doesn't block the toilet door, as you can find with some vans. Now, there is a certain feel-good atmosphere with inside, and this is, I think, helped by the multi-level ambient lighting on the overhead lockers, under the kitchen counter and on the skirting boards. And something else which I've complained about in the past is the lack of USB ports. Well, this one's got 6 and the 2 amp as well, so that will allow relatively quick, or not relatively, it is quick, fast charging. Now the shower's got a headroom of 194 centimeters. There is the water capacity can hold 180 litres, and it's got 150 litres of grey water. Now, if you want to know more about the van, such as the price, and the price is from 105,000 euros, it will be available from the end of May 2019 for ordering. When delivery is, who knows? But with waiting lists, I'd be surprised if you got it in 2019. I think it's a van for 2020, but anyway, that's, I don't know. I've put some more information about this van on my website, Motorhome Full-Time, so you can see it there should you be interested. I've got some photographs as well. We'll put some photographs in this film. And there's another thing, if you know German, I've got interviews with some of the people from Hymer, and a colleague of mine who works for a German publication. So if you know German, you can have a look at my German language website, which is called Allen der Europäische Camper. And that's a new website, so I've now got one in Polish, one in German, and one in Italian as well, all about motorhomes, which incidentally are not copies of each other. Well, that's not true, there's a bit of copy, there's a lot of copying, but it's not entirely copies one of the other, so there will occasionally be stuff in one language which I don't have in the other, but most of the stuff is in English, so it's not absolutely necessary, but I would be grateful if people did subscribe, because the more subscribers I get, then I can actually monetize it. So that'd be once I got 1,000, I can actually monetize and get some money for it. And so if I don't get 1,000, I'm just not going to continue doing it. Well, it just sounds fair to me, doesn't it? Okay, thanks for watching. I hope you found this interesting. I've got other films as well on this vehicle, and many other vehicles besides. So all the best here from Stuttgart. Thank you for watching.